Rolling apart, right?
Yeah. Okay, give it a couple of minutes. They should pop in pretty fast today because I put a community notice up anyway.
Okay.
I got my coffee and we'll see what. When you pop in, make sure you say hi. Sorry, I'm Rat Woman. I've been running around all day, chores, like running around actually. Today went really fast.
It did.
And we've got to be in bed right away. Yeah, because Sharon's sleeping in the morning. I guess we'll have to say that a few times as people pop in, right? Yeah, but Sharon's 2 weeks is done, so she's heading back to Oakland, right?
Correct.
Now, what are your flights like from like I'm going to get you to the airport early, like almost right away after our live. Hi, Andrew. Did you get a notification? You're first. Yes, you are. So what did I say?
Oh, just what my itinerary is.
Oh yeah. So early in the morning we gotta leave. So we're gonna go to bed really early tonight. So this might be a short live, but it's our last chance to chit chat with Sharon. Did you like doing the lives with me? I didn't really give you much choice, really. you seemed very obliging.
I didn't mind.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and you were so well prepared. You had your little stacks of stuff. Last week she had a little stack of stuff, and she made me look because I'm running around like a chicken with my head chopped off, and she had all kinds of little conversation items and stuff. So tonight I did the same thing. Did you notice?
Mm-hmm.
You did notice that I did. So it's a good trait.
Just
And she taught me that because it makes me be more prepared for my lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I got my little lesson. This is a book that Sharon gave me when she popped in. I guess I shouldn't talk about it now, but oh, look at that. What does that say? Is that in reverse? Can let me know if you guys can read that or if that's backwards.
It looks very backwards.
It looks backwards to us, but this is my life, so it might look different to them. But
Andrew, can you read that?
Yeah, because it's like a 15-second delay. So let me know if you can read that. But if you can't, you know what? I'm going to make you sweat a few minutes. Hey? Make them sweat, and then you can find out what Cindy's adventure is. Yeah. And then, I was visiting today. Like I was running around doing lots of, not reversed. Yay, excellent. Okay, so then you read what it said, right? Okay, so just hold on for a little bit, and I'll explain it. We're just going to talk about Sharon's visit right now, right? What did you like the most about the visit, Sharon?
Meeting you.
Really?
Yeah, just and having a chance to come to sorry, I got a big lifesaver. Come to another country and meet someone on their own turf, not like staying in a hotel where you meet people that are just paid, or a motel that are paid to be hospitable. You know, their job is to entertain and take care of your needs, whatever, you know, like hotel, motel, B&B. This way, I got an idea. Well, I made a new friend.
Aww.
And I got
we were friends before.
First-person view of
the real me,
real people in a real neighborhood, and how everyone interacts with one another, and it was just a better point of view, I guess. For it's like how they have the immersion methods for languages and things like that. So this was like
when she was taking photographs of all the big signs and stuff when they were in French, right? Because we're multi-languages here, French and English here both. But
we have English and Spanish, but
yeah, because it's French and English.
Because I'm in California, but
and there's
English
Mexico,
is
right?
Primary, yeah.
And they speak Spanish in Mexico, right? That's their language is Spanish in Mexico.
Right.
See, that's how much I know about Mexico. I've never been down there. We got pretty close to the border and stuff, I think, but but I don't think my dad ever crossed us into Mexico. I would have liked to have done that
I've
trip.
never been there.
You've never been to Mexico?
Never, This is my first time ever out of the United States.
My sister said it was really,
Anywhere.
really hot and dry in Mexico, and they rented a car and they drove all the way down south, and and they came back with a great big metal knight, like a knight in a castle. You know, one of those.
Right.
They had it strapped to the top of the roof of their car, and they drove it all the way from Mexico all the way back to Canada. They said everybody was honking at them as they were driving back to Canada. That was my sister Tracy, eh?
Okay.
Yeah,
Hi, William.
I love
How
my
are you
oh,
today?
and William's here. William's here too. We were talking a little bit about Sharon's visit, but what I was going to say, and it would be very helpful to my brand for me to know, right? Because you were saying a little bit about my hospitality and stuff. But what I would be curious about is how close am I in person? Like you're actually hanging out with me in person. Am I to who I portray myself to be in my videos and on my lives? Honestly. Pardon me?
Pretty spot on. Now, obviously, real people in real situations, on the spot, in a crunch, in a crisis, are not going to act like they do for the camera.
Oh, right.
But
yes, because we did have a couple of very scary moments there. Yes.
Across the board, you're who you portray yourself as.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
My car went down on me today. This week, and I never had a problem with my car, right? And I have big plans and everything, and
that was scary.
Yeah. Oh, my heart just sank right away. Like, oh my God, you know. But had it all fixed and like really fast, eh? Like in a half an hour.
While you were freaking out, I found a compass, which was just kind of weird.
Okay, and then
you didn't know how you were going to get to where you were going, and I found that, you know.
Oh, right.
You always know which direction you're headed.
And then I kept starting the car, and then when my brother-in-law turned the corner, right went for like 10 minutes, and as soon as he turned the corner into the back lane behind the car started up, just like that. And then he says, "Oh, go drive around the block, and I'll follow behind you, right?" And then he discovered I had a burnt-out brake light, and he told me I needed an oil change. Yeah, so I wouldn't have known those, right? You know, I would have taken a long trip, and then I could have had some serious problems. Yeah.
So what did we do? This week? We went swimming.
Oh, the swimming, yeah, to the Pan Am pool. They had the Pan American Games here in Pan American, then that would be the American. The States would have been up here too. I thought it was just Canada. Right? So it would have been the America. So she asked me what kind of because it's a big competition swimming pool, right? And we had free swimming between certain hours, right?
Beautiful,
yeah. You didn't even want to leave the pool. I kind of suggested it like a half an hour. She goes, "Oh, really? Is it getting that close?" And I'm just like, okay, she's having fun,
I
right?
haven't been swimming in years. That was the best exercise and relaxation I've had in a long time.
And she bought a new bathing suit. It looked really nice on you too, that bathing suit.
I got to break in my new bathing suit. And we went to the Manitoba Museum.
Oh, the Museum of Man and Nature. Was that a highlight?
Human rights.
Human rights.
Yeah.
Yes, the Museum of Human Rights. Was that one
That also was one of the most interesting, unique buildings.
It's right up her lane. Yeah, Sharon.
7 levels.
Yeah, Sharon's an activist, right? So a lot of these things are really important to her, right? You know, I'm not so much. I love the trees and I love to protect the nature, but she fights for the world, like for big causes and things that aren't right in the world. She'll She goes down to big rallies on her own and everything just to support these things.
There's power in numbers, and if I add my voice to 1,000 other voices, they'll have to hear me. So that's my credo.
That is really neat to to meet. But that's why I thought you would like the Museum of Human Rights, right? Because it's so up your alley, and you got so many amazing pictures, right?
I think I took a picture of every exhibit. Yeah.
I just took pictures of the quotes that were on the walls.
I took pictures of those too. I'll have to go home and look at them because my laptop died, but everything got saved on my camera, so I didn't run out of memory card.
Yeah, there were some amazing quotes.
We went to the mall. We went back
A couple
to the
of times.
forest.
Yeah.
We went to Dollarama so I could get cheap souvenirs to take home.
Yeah, she got some good ones too. Yeah.
You know, they tell her the artist is a secret.
I got a phone mount for my dash for my car to hold my cell phone. I did have a couple, but one fell off my window, it broke, and then one I had to double tape onto the dash because it slid everywhere. That's a great holder for my phone. And then so I got a couple of magnet ones for the vents today. And why did I do that? Not yet? Okay.
Oh no.
Let's talk about your trip. Let's talk
No.
about your trip.
Not my trip.
Or do we talk about my trip?
It's not my trip. My trip's ending. Yours has just begun.
You guys, I've been sleeping on the couch for 2 weeks. Sharon gets to go home. You get to have your bed back. Are you looking forward to your bed?
Yeah, it's a new bed.
Oh, right. You told me, yeah.
I finally got a new bed.
And is it all set up?
It's all set up.
Laid up, and everything's all ready for you?
New carpet, new bed frame, the whole nine. It's just waiting for me.
And you said when you got home, you were going to just go to the grocery store and pick up a few groceries, or
go to sleep. Yeah.
Oh, she's going to crash good. Yeah. But you guys,
your surprise.
I'm going to Toronto tomorrow. My sister's going to go right through the roof, right through the roof. But I don't care. I had the opportunity, and I'm chasing down my dreams. And it was a miracle week. It almost didn't happen. But I'm leaving tomorrow, and I'm going to Evan Carmichael's Thought Leadership Academy, and he's holding a workshop. It's a 3-day workshop, and I got my spot, but I didn't have any money for gas. I didn't have a plane ticket. I didn't have anywhere to stay. I had no spending money. All I had was my spot. I had no idea how I was going to do this up until
today. Last night, maybe?
Last night.
Yeah.
Within an hour yesterday. Was that yesterday or the day before?
It was yesterday.
Okay. Within an hour, I had 3 real miracles happen. And you thought the third miracle wasn't really one of the miracles, and you were kind of right on that. But I'll explain that when I finish telling the story. So I had no money, nowhere to stay. All I knew was that I was going to Toronto, and I was keeping it to myself because, you know, I'm supposed to be working, right? You know, like I'm supposed to be putting a roof over my head. I'm in a desperate situation with my bills, and this trip is not going to make any difference whether I paid, whether I was going or if I wasn't going. The situation that I'm in would be exactly the same, because I would have to just return all the love that I got, you know, and all the everything I got, I would have to just turn it in, and I would still be in the exact same situation as me. Or I was, but the only difference being is that it's going to take me a week, because it's going to take me 24 hours to move or to drive to Toronto, 25 hours to drive home. The event is 3 days long. And yeah, so I'm going to be gone for almost a week. I won't be home until Saturday night, Sunday morning. And this is the most amazing thing that I have ever done for myself in my entire life. I am so excited and I am scared to poop. I've had jelly belly all day. The car is packed.
Yeah, we are the Jelly Belly twins.
But I did lose another 3 pounds, so I was happy. I was happy about that. And guys, let me know. Jump in on the conversation because we're listening, watching the comments as we go. Like I'm watching the comments here. Let me know what you guys are thinking about. This is a huge, huge, huge move on my part, and I was 100. Was I not 100% positive the whole time you were here that it was going to happen? Did I sway even one bit that it was going to happen?
By hook or by crook, train, plane, or automobile, you were going to get there. I don't know how, but you knew it was going to happen.
Stay with me, Ashley, the best of the story. So I'm going to tell you how it all happened, how I get to take this trip. It was a miracle, and it all happened within an hour, eh? I had no drivers. I had no money. I had nowhere to stay. I had a sister that was going to rip my head off and probably shove it up my bum for sure. And I'm not even joking about that. I have no job, right? I have absolutely no income to come in. I get a little bit of help from the government because I am low income, right? I do get a little bit of help from the government for my rent, but that application went in late and it's like 3 weeks behind, and I was really, really worried about that money. And you know what? I probably would have used that money. I think if it had come in, I would have used that money for my trip. I don't know. I'm trying to do this really honorably. It's really, really important that I set an example in my journey in doing this, right? That I do it honorably and honestly. And it's an unfortunate that Tracy could be a part of this. I feel like I'm running away from home. Right?
Oh.
I do.
You have to come back.
I know I have a face Tracy, face my sister, but I have to do this for myself. You know,
She's family.
Sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to say, can I? Because the answer would be no question, no. You're out looking for work next week, right? But anyway, back to how this all came about. Like, you know, I was worried, like I was on edge. No, I was on edge, right? I was on edge, but I wasn't worried. I was convinced that I was going on this trip. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. I had all my little household belongings up for sale on Kijiji. And I had little notices on Kijiji asking for a driver to come along with me to help share in the cost of the gas, right? I thought maybe if I got 2 drivers, it would pay for my whole trip there, and that would cover my trip, right? I went outside. I drive an Outlander, right? And it's supposed to turn into a bed in the hatchback, right? I've had that car for 3 years now. I could never have figured out, right, how to get it done so it would be comfortably. Every time I went camping or out on drives and I had to sleep in it, right? It was very, very uncomfortable because I never knew how to do it, right?
Oh.
And this week, remember I said I went out to the car and I just looked at it. I said, okay, I'm going to just give it one more shot. Remember I said it took me not 30 seconds and it was just like, boom, click this, put this down.
That's the release.
I have a bed, right? If I take my car, I have a bed. Okay, so now I've got a place to stay. I can set the back of my car, which I did quite beautifully. I set up the back of the car like a trailer home. It's absolutely amazing. I've got all kinds of neat stuff for it, and
it's like
so
a station wagon.
I've got it just set up just like home. All I have to do is take my 2 cushions off my couch, and that will go right perfectly in that spot.
Don't forget the pillow.
And a pillow and my quilt and blankets, right? And then I've got my cooler filled up with food. I did not too much because I'm on a diet, right? So I can't eat too much anyway. So I wasn't too worried about the cash unless I broke down and had to pay for something. And then I found out where the city pool is in Toronto, and it happens to be two 2 blocks away from the dance studio where they're holding the event.
Okay.
So in the mornings I can, this is how important this is to me, you guys, right? Like if you really, really want something, you really have to work for it. It doesn't come easy. If you really want something, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes to do to get it done. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. But anyway, I found that swimming pool and I'm going to go there in the morning and I'm going to go for a quick swim because they have some line swimming in the morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to go for a swim and then I'm going to be able to use the facilities to shower and to get ready, right? And yeah,
Do your hair.
to do my hair. I even brought my wig. Maybe the one night that they have the nice dinner, that will be the night that I wear my wig. Otherwise, everybody, I'll have to bear my little bald spots on the side of my head. But I still didn't have drivers, right?
Right.
And I didn't have, so I have somewhere to stay. And then I take my sister for a little drive in the evening. And then I took her for one sister. I told one sister what I was up to, what I was trying to do. And I went in and I took them for a drive. And right off the hop, my niece paid for my gas to get to Toronto, the entire thing. My niece, Ashley, who's in the comments here right now, that's my niece.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Ashley's my niece.
I waved at her.
I told Grace what you did. I took Grace out for coffee this afternoon and we sat, and that's my other niece, right? And my other niece, and she gave me some books, but I'll show you all those later for me to take with me. And yeah, and I didn't know, and Grace follows law of attraction. I didn't even know. See, I don't even follow. I've been so busy, I don't even keep in touch with what my family is doing. So I was so excited. So she gave me some of her books, right? So that's really, really good. But yes, Ashley, my niece, paid for my gas. Now I've got a place to stay.
That was very nice.
Is it? And she said, Cindy, she says, take this money, and they argue. I burst into tears. I'm filming this all, right? Like, so even though you're not seeing any video or you haven't seen any video, I've been filming the whole thing and I'm documenting it, and it might be a documentary one day. You never know the journey, right? Because it was full of magic, right? So the gas is taken care of. I have somewhere to stay. Then I started getting emails from people, like right off the hop, started getting emails from people who wanted to drive with me. So I was going to have some cash. But my other sister, Alice, she's been giving me little bits in here for my trip, right? Trying to help build up the cash a little bit. And I was able to use that money from my other sister, Carolyn, who gave me $140, and I put 20 in the gas tank for your visit here, and then 120 of it I used for a few groceries to go to the humanization and a few coffees and stuff, and then I put $100, and I got the oil change done on the car.
Right.
I got the oil change done on the car, so my car. Oh, and you're gonna have to go back to the beginning of this video and watch the beginning. I'm telling a crazy story here. So I've got an oil change. I've got a place to stay. I've got the gas for the car. I don't have any spending money. Remember, I had no spending money for the trip, not 5 cents. If anything went wrong, I had a pile of, because they give you little stickers on the McDonald's coffees, right? So I peel those off and I fill out the cards, and once you get 7 coffees, you get a free coffee, right? But all this month since you've been here, it's been dollar coffee, so we've been drinking coffees like crazy, like a ton of coffee, because McDonald's makes good coffee too, right? And so I got a pile of these cards for free coffees. I got a little cooler full of some groceries and cheese. I broke down and I took a block of cheese, right, for the trip.
Big gas.
Yeah. So so what else happened? Oh, the government money. The government money. So I didn't get the money, but I phoned, and this is one thing my sister Tracy will be pleased about, and maybe my landlord will be pleased about it too. The checks in the mail. And good, I got $100 more than I got last month. I got $254 last month. I'm getting 300 and something this year, right? To go towards my rent every month. But I get a back month too. So it's almost enough to pay an entire month's rent.
And there'll be enough in your account, supposedly the day you return, to get you home.
To get me home, and on top of that, the car insurance is due tomorrow. It'll come out. I couldn't cover. I had no money. Like what? Like none of this money is mine, right? I would just have to give it away. So I would be in the exact same boat as I am now, right? So I'm really, really going to apply myself. Like I can say that till I'm blue in the face to my sister Tracy and tell her that I'll really, really, really try to not be such a S-head, right? And do a good job at trying to make the money, because I'm going to want to, because I'm going to get that good advice from this workshop. It's going to set me on the right track, and he's got some great guys and employees working for him, right? That I'm going to learn so much from these people, and I've met them all, right? Like a few of them I follow, and a couple of them I met this week, because Evan was going live for 4 days. I don't know if anybody was watching him, but yeah. But that was my niece Ashley, who gave me that money for my gas for my trip. So now it canceled out. The people who were going to come with me canceled out on the trip, because I asked for a deposit to guarantee that they would come with me, and they didn't want to give me a deposit. But I couldn't say, oh, okay, I'll pick you up, and then them not being there, and then at the same time me saying no to a few other people who might have wanted to come. So I took the chance that somebody else would call me, right? Because I had a couple other people. I just, I've got to make sure that I'm okay, right? But my niece gave me the money for the whole trip. But I thought, well, if a driver came, then I would have a little bit of spending money for an emergency. And I know they're going to have dinners and stuff. And I know I'm dieting. I can sit there and drink coffee, and it's not going to look funny, right? Nobody's going to be embarrassed that I'm poor or anything, right? Because I understand, because Evan does, I hate to say charity work, but he gives a lot, right?
He gives back.
Right, he gives back. On the morning, on the weekends or weekdays, he does a live in the morning on his Instagram, and he does that specifically for people that can't afford mentoring and stuff through him and his company, right? So, and I know he does that for us. And if it wasn't for that, like, he set my morning routine up for me. And, I get through my day feeling like I really accomplished when I get to see him live, and when I get to learn from him and stuff. And I don't participate more than I should, but I don't know, because I've been going through this stuff. I don't want to come off as like I'm being menopausal looking, or something, like I'm some kind of fatal attraction or something like that I'm at him all the time. That's what I feel like sometimes, because, like, he put me back on track. If it wasn't for him, that, I don't even want to get into that, because I'll just start crying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can't imagine where I would be now, right?
Did you say you found out what this was for?
No, okay, can I show everybody this? We went metal detecting at the Nanton Estate, right, this week, and I found this. I've been Googling. It's made of lead. Look how old that is. Can you see that? Does anybody know what this is? I'm so curious at first, because I know that estate had horse trails all through it, right?
It might be wrought iron.
You think it might be wrought iron?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you know what? If it was lead, it would be white by now. Under the ground, it would have turned white.
And it's all rusted. So
so it's wrought iron. So at first she thought it was part of a fence, but I didn't get the hoop, right? And then I thought it was for taking horseshoes off the horses, right? Because of the horse trails. I actually thought it was for.
Thank you, Robert.
Could it be a spur or part of one? Yeah, but what about this part? What would that have been, and how would it have attached? Like how? Yeah, no, I don't think. It's too heavy. Also, it's very, very. Oh, Robert's here too. Robert, you're gonna want to make sure you rewind tonight. Yeah. I'm going to Toronto tomorrow. I'm chasing down my dreams, and Sharon's going home in the morning too. Yeah. Yeah, so if anybody knows what this is, give me some shout outs, right? Yeah, for sure. For sure, give me some shout outs because I would absolutely love to know what this is, right? But that's
Don't.
we took a ton of pictures and I'll mail all her computer crashed on her.
Thank you, Owen.
Oh,
That's nice.
what did she say? What did she say?
He was complimenting me.
I know. Wasn't it nice to have partners on my lives for? I'm looking forward to maybe doing some interviews and meeting some more people along the road for sure.
Linda's here. Hi. She just popped in.
Who?
Linda.
Oh, Linda, you've been late 2 weeks in a row now. She's been late. It's okay. She watches my Instagram too.
Cindy and Sharon.
See, Owen, that's what I said. That's what I said. But when I looked at horseshoe removers, I didn't see anything like this. And then I saw something a little bit similar. It said nail remover, and I could see you'd be able to remove a nail that way. But when I Googled that too, and wouldn't that could be maybe like a little wrench? Yeah, it's some kind
It's
of
a mystery.
yeah, it's a mystery item. So, but I found it and I was pretty excited. And on top of that, too, in the Nanton Estate, that I also got to meet one of the developers that works with the owner, right, of the building, and he told me all about the story. And yeah, he said he would talk to the owner on my behalf of maybe doing some metal detecting before they start their work there, right? So that was pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, he was stripping out all the what do you call them? The baseboards and the molded woodwork and things that.
Yeah, you could hear him working inside there, trying to get some of the moldings right from when it had the mansion and they transferred it into the little cottage house. So but I was taking down a chicken in the woods, a great big fungus, a great big spur of mushrooms. It was absolutely gorgeous. If you follow me on my Instagram, which is I should say right now, everybody follow me on Instagram because I will be going live. I'm sure Evan's gonna have us posting and stuff, right? Because yeah, he's gonna have us working and doing things, trying to make us brave. Oh, awesome. Oh, Linda knows too.
Did that help at all?
A wrought iron strap for a door or a stall door? Oh, she's right. Right? Because the nail would have gone through there and blocked it. Right? And that would have been kind of a finial design.
Like a hook to keep it to open and shut the stall.
Oh, but
maybe a leather strap came through here.
Oh, maybe, or some wire or a hook. Oh, okay, yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
Andrew's birthday tomorrow.
Robert's birthday?
Robert's birthday tomorrow.
It's Robert's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Robert. Yeah, you do that Marilyn Monroe happy birthday too? I used to do that for my friends all
Maybe
the time.
30 years ago. I don't think it'd be that interesting now.
Yeah, so what was the other thing? Oh, so anyway, I got up yesterday. I was having calls for drivers like all week, every day, right? A few times a day. And then yesterday, I didn't get any calls for drivers. And then today, I did not. Let's just double check that there's nothing there. And I can't call myself a liar because now somebody's there wanting a drive. But no drivers, nobody asked to or inquired to come with me to Toronto today. And then I thought, well, seeing my niece pay for all the gas, right, to come to Toronto, maybe it's a sign from the universe, right? It's a sign from the universe. The universe wants me to drive alone, right? so I can practice because I can talk to myself and I can practice and I can study and I can have that calm and peaceful, beautiful view. I'm going to be exhausted. I know I'm not going to be able to drive 24 hours straight through to Toronto. I know I can't. But if I could be on the road really, really early, I'll drive for as very long as I can, and then I'll pull over for 4 hours, and I'll drive as long as I can. Then I'll pull over for another 4 hours, drive as long as I can. As long as I'm there for setup tomorrow night, I really want it on tomorrow night? No, next night.
Did you say it's a 24-hour drive?
A 22, but by the time you take pee breaks and stop at McDonald's, because I got all those coupons, right? Can't waste those coupons.
Because Robert was asking.
Oh, maybe I won't use my coupon. Oh, right. Robert. Oh, yeah, Robert, you're going to want to go back to the beginning of the live. Yeah, we were talking about Sharon. Sharon's leaving tomorrow. She's going back to California tomorrow. And we were talking a little bit about our trip. Yeah, we went for a couple of walks in Assiniboine Forest. That was beautiful. We did the train, right? We did the train in Assiniboine Park. We went for a train ride.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Have a great birthday.
Yeah, Robert. Have a wonderful birthday.
My son's birthday is October 4th. So I'll be planning that as soon as I get back.
How old is Robert this year?
He said he's 60, but he feels 30.
I'm 57. And I thought about it a couple of times today that mindfully, I feel like a baby.
Yeah.
I feel so naive and I just feel like a baby, but yeah, to hopefully come home from Toronto a little bit more mature.
I'm 56, but often act like I am 6 because I'm one of those baby Aries.
Yeah,
I'm scratching again.
Yeah, she got poison ivy here.
Wait,
I say with a smile. Look at that big grin. Did you see that big grin I just did when I said she got poison ivy?
Yes. I thought it was mosquito bites, and then we put bug bite lotion on it, which just made it freak out and spread all over me.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to put me in panic mode there for a
I
little while.
I
thought I was gonna have to take her to the hospital. I really did think I was gonna have to take you to the hospital last night.
It was like throwing in fire ants.
I sat there and I was doing my Instagram post. Are you okay? Are you okay? Just let me know if you need anything. Want a cup of tea?
Oh yeah.
I lost my post. Where's my post? I've been working on that for the past hour.
Once I stopped putting the bug bite lotion on it, it
started to feel better.
It stopped freaking out on me. I was irritating it and inflaming it because they weren't bug bites. It was either poison sumac or oak or something. And I was fully dressed from chin to toe.
Yeah, and this
long sleeves, long legs, boots, big wool socks. But somehow it got in. I think it got in from my neck, and I scratched it, and then it just went walkers. But at least it's not scurvy.
Oh, not
or shingles.
You eat lots of fruit. I wouldn't worry about that.
At least it's not the plague. It could be worse. And it will go away.
And it was worth it, right? It was worth it. Yeah.
Overall, yeah. It wasn't worth it last night when I was saying just shoot me now. But it's okay. It's much better. Except right there, it started to itch and I scratched it, so I missed it.
Oh, and I didn't tell you another miracle that happened. That happened also was last week when I checked the price, how much will it cost me to get to Toronto? Because I needed to know exactly how much it was going to cost me. And there's a site there that will tell you like each day it updates, right? And so you get the proper amount of money that it would cost. So I Googled how much it would cost to get from Winnipeg to Toronto, and they told me $240. And that's what I had for gas, right? That's what almost exactly what I had was given for the gas. And so I wouldn't have had any spending money, no bus fare, no money to go to the pool. I would have just been a stinky in 3 days of workshop, and Evan will film absolutely everything. Like he filmed everything is a clip or a video with him, right? So,
Mhm.
so you know, it was, yeah. Well, I guess you can't smell me, but the people I'm with, the people I'm going to get to meet, I'm going to meet people for the first
At
time.
least he doesn't have smell-o-vision. Smell your stress, smell your
Yeah.
sweat.
Maybe I can, maybe if I get closer to his sinuses, I can fix them, because I've been watching him on video, and I'm doing this channeling to trying to fix his sinuses. So silly.
Good luck with that.
But you don't know. I don't know unless I try. I only know what I know, right? And
Right.
yeah, and my niece seems to think that I need to know, so she gave me a couple of she says they're mindset books. I'll have to judge for myself, right? Because I don't want to sway out of what I'm learning now, right? But if it's law of attraction, or if it's mindset, like, then for sure I'm gonna read them, right? Oh, which brings me to this.
Do you want to throw out the titles and authors, or are you going to wait until you're ready?
Oh, I'm sorry. You are a badass.
You really are.
I am. Thank you. Oh, do you think so?
Yeah, takes one to know one.
I hurt my ear there. Oh, that was funny. Yeah. How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. And it was a New York Times bestseller, 2 million copies.
Who wrote it?
Her name was Jen Sincero.
Okay.
So she said this was an absolutely amazing book here. And then my niece also gave me this one. Every word you cannot say. And this, Andrew, you might like this one if you found it in the library, because I know you love your books. But this is also mindset, but this is specifically poems and inspirational drawings and sayings and quotes, and it's for empaths. It's a, I don't know if it's made directly for empaths, but it was reviewed as a very good book that could benefit empaths. So my niece gave me, I didn't even know she was interested in this stuff.
Who is it by?
And this is by Lane S. Thomas. And I've never heard of either of these ones. It's not been on any bestseller list or anything. But she said it was a beautiful book. And I love these new covers that they make with these books.
Oh, yeah.
I've come across a lot of this, it's almost like fabric, like velvet, right? Cardboardy velvet.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that
I've
is.
seen a lot of it lately, but yeah, she gave me this book here. And then when Sharon came, she brought me a journal, a small journal, and in here, she brought me also a fortune cookie card, and in it says, "All friends begin as strangers," and it's so true.
That was passed to me from my son
Aww.
to pass on to you.
Is that ever sweet? Thank you, Sid. If you're watching, Sid, thank you so much. That was very thoughtful. Very, very thoughtful of you. Thank you so much. So anyway, I decided that I was going to make this little book, right? Because it's big enough for the event, right? I can write lots of stuff in there. That each day I'm going to just journal my memories, right? Because this book is going to be, my memories, right? This is my journey. All of this is my journey as a sage. Like I just don't know how more I can say. But I wrote my first saying in there, and I wrote here 2019 Evan Carmichael's Thought Leadership Academy. I'm so excited. I can't believe I did this. I know I could take credit, but it was magic. Something else did it for me, but it knew what I wanted and gave me what I wanted. So that's all. I'm not there yet, so anything could. But I'm not planting any seeds, right?
Robert says make sure you're not tired before you get to Toronto, because the driving gets crazy.
This is a card. Oh, the other miracle. Remember what I said? Oh, I was telling the story about the 195 for the, or what I got for. So anyway, when I checked the gas, remember what I was saying that I checked the gas and it said $240 it would cost me for the gas, but my niece gave me the gas money to get there, and I have no drivers. Still, I have no drivers. But last night I checked the price of gas to get to Winnipeg to Toronto, and it's gone down to $195. So now I have $50 for spending money. Oh, 45 because I got Grace a drink at McDonald's. Yeah, so I got $45. But soon as I checked the price of the gas, Sharon comes around the corner and she's got an envelope with a card in it, right? And I opened up the card and $50 fell out of the card. She was giving me $50 and she couldn't afford it. I wasn't going to take it. But it was like a miracle because I didn't have any spending money. If I hadn't seen that I was getting $50 from the difference of the gas money from the week before, I might have taken that $50 from you. And that was only like 2 minutes from the time I checked the gas, right? You were coming down the hallway and I was saying, Sharon, you were standing in front of me with the card. And I said, Sharon, you won't believe it. I've got $50 for gas money. He handed me a card. $50.
That's crazy timing.
I gave her the $50 back.
She wouldn't take it.
Not from Sharon. I want this trip to be something that you remember, and yeah, I wanted you to have good memories, and it was a sign. It was a sign seeing that $50 that I got for the $195 difference, right? It was a sign, and that money, and you didn't realize because you miscalculated a bill too, so you'll get that taken care of too, right? But she gave me this beautiful card. Look at this beautiful card that she sent me. Hopefully it's not in reverse. I'm looking at it in reverse from my video, but I think everybody said they could read it. Yeah, so in any case, it says, I don't know how I did it, but I know who helped me do it. And thanks for your help and your heart. So that's going in my, so hopefully.
And it's a box. I couldn't find a wolf.
A box with flowers,
because
a box
I'm
with
a wolf,
flowers.
but box will have to do. That's as close as I can get.
Yeah. So now I've got this, and I have my work binder all set up with my hard drives and my pens and my pads and my books and all of this. Oh, and then this is my purpose, right? Is to help people overcome this side to get to this side, right? But one day I'll explain this to yourself if you can get a good look. That was one's male and one's female, and it shows like if you live like this, or you could live this way, right? Or grow up to be that way, or you could grow up to be that way, or you could grow up to be a pro.
Where'd you get
this was from this antique book. Remember I told you that dream that directed me to that page, and when I looked at the page, it directed me to these two. So I laminated it. I took the pages out of the book because it was the only lesson in here that I think was being the message that was supposed to get to me. So I tore those 2 pages out and I laminate them because that's exactly what I want to do, is to help you get from this side to this side, because it's mindset. It's all mindset, right?
You tore them out of that ancient book.
I don't. What? I'm going to drag this thing around with me for the rest of my life, like Bob Proctor? No, look at it.
You could have photocopied. You could have photocopied them and kept the book intact.
No, it weighs like 10 pounds. Like, what if that's the amount that puts me over in my luggage?
I said you could have photocopied them and kept the book intact.
Oh,
but that's not how you do things, so it's all right.
That's not how I do things.
That's right.
I got the originals, right? And then, because this is from 100 years ago, this was done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, they didn't do that, but I would do the up, because these, being an alcoholic is still the same, but I would put it more modern woman, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the woman that's got a baby and being motherly, right?
And being a bibliophile, I'm just like, oh, you tore up the book. That's all I see.
You can have it. Yeah, you got no room in it. I don't.
Thank you, Robert.
This is all that it was meant to get to me, so that's also always going to stay in there too, and that's.
Canada is beautiful, and I thoroughly enjoyed my trip.
And then I have my list here of things that I need to make sure that I get fixed. These are big things that are wrong, that I'm pretty sure that are wrong with my channel and wrong with my brand, and that I need to get some advice on. He's got some really great people working on his team too. There's one guy named Jay Rice, and he's so smart and he does the mindset right. So I'm really looking forward to his conversation. Okay. Have we got time for something important, everybody? This is something that's important to me, and this is, I'm going to read this to you if you don't mind, and if anybody knows anybody that can interpret dreams, and you can go back and rewind this live, right, and listen to what I wrote down in this. I don't dream. I don't think I'm not sure if I've ever dreamed. I think maybe I might have had a couple of nightmares as kids, right? And there were times when I couldn't sleep right shortly after my divorce, but I don't even think then I had nightmares or dreamed or anything. I was just sad, right? But yeah, I don't remember. They say because I studied it, I wanted to know why I don't dream. Like, why don't I dream, right? But when I looked it up, the scientists said that everybody dreams, right? And you can tell because of they call it fast action in the eyes.
The rapid eye movement.
Rapid eye movement. You can tell. Yeah, so they've done experiences. But they say that for some reason, some people have a block from their dreams.
So they don't retain the memory.
They're dreaming, but I don't have anybody who sleeps next to me that can say whether or not I'm talking in my sleep,
right,
or if my eyes are fluttering, or if I'm kicking around. Like, I don't have anybody like that, right? So maybe I am dreaming. I do know that I can close my eyes and go to sleep, and I open my eyes and I'm awake. Like, I'm not somebody who goes, oh, and push the snooze button.
You just don't have, there's no in between.
There's no gap there. It's just closure. Mind you, like tonight I'm going to have a hard time going to sleep because I'm overexcited. Plus we have to try to go to bed.
We have to.
Yeah, and plus we have to go to bed early, and I don't think I'll be able to go to sleep. So that's why I'm saying, like, instead of, I'll just I'll just drive for as long as I can, and then I'll just pull over and sleep whenever I have to. But
if you don't attain REM state, you will go insane. So that's how they know that everybody does dream. They just don't. It's how your brain resets itself, and
so it
gets
makes
out all
me
the excess and helps you assimilate all the stimuli that's coming into your head 24/7. Your brain does house cleaning while you're sleeping, and that's your dream.
I was just scared that
you don't remember yours.
Because there's so much little magic things going on in my life that I thought, I'm off in some other world doing battle or riding unicorns or.
I don't think any little pixies are stealing your dreams. But you could be riding unicorns and doing battle in your sleep.
So why, so it makes me wonder why I have a block. Okay, so saying to the dreams, going back to that, in 1984, my dad died. 4 months after my dad died, my dad always said if there was any way that he could get back to me, he would get back to me. My dad always knew he was dying. My dad had congenital heart disease my entire life, and we always got death talks and always informed us on what was going on and everything. And because my dad believed in reincarnation, my dad followed law of attraction, and he was a big fan of Bob Proctor, and which I found out earlier this year when I saw an old picture of Bob Proctor, and he had red hair, and I instantly recognized him from the cover of my dad's books, right? But it reminded me of this dream that I had written down 4 months after my dad died, because I was convinced this was how my dad was coming back to me, because he promised he would come back to me. And because I don't dream, And it was so odd for me, and because of the fact that I was asleep for like 16 hours or something, right? And then I was also interrupted and was able to go back to the dreams, sort of, kind of. This has been so long. This is 1984 that this happened. But when I woke up, I wrote down the dream. Now, I don't interpret dreams. I read this, what I wrote. I don't really understand it. And as of recently, in the past few months, I've read this numerous times. There's some key words in it that I'm familiar with to what I'm studying, but I still don't understand what it's about. I think he's trying to tell me what death is about, but I also truly believe that this was meant to get to Bob Proctor. I really have this feeling that my dad was, like, I was meant to go put it in a brown envelope or something and mail it to him or hand it off to him or
Bob
something.
Proctor?
He does mindset, but he's one of the first ones, right? There was a few that started earlier in the 19th century, but Bob Proctor's 85 years old, and he still teaches, and he still mentors, and he still consorts with different big companies and stuff. Like, he's still very, very busy, and I catch his videos all the time, right?
Okay.
So anyway, I thought maybe I would read this off, and it might not be anything. It might be just a dream, right? But it might be something. And if somebody in my audience is familiar on how to interpret dreams, then if they would do me a kindness and contact me and let me know what it's about. I don't think there's anything personal in this, but that can't be shared. But
I love that Star Trek episode, Andrew. That's a great one.
Okay,
I'll shut up.
Okay, so I'm going to read this, and again, like, it's on video, so you can rewind it if you do understand how to read dreams, and you can go back and study. But if you do me a huge kindness and contact me through my business email, PrairieDodgers at gmail.com, then just go down to my main page, and you can just contact me through my main page. I would do anything to know what this is about, right? Because I'm convinced that my dad was coming back because he promised, right? But, it may be nothing, but if it is, and one of you know what it is, then let me know, okay? So here it goes. So this was written on Thursday, August 23rd, 1984, at 3:56 p.m. in the afternoon, okay? I had a very strange experience last night. I don't really understand it myself, but maybe if I write it down, what I remember of it, I can read back on it and maybe then put the bits and pieces together. For even now, I can feel bits and pieces slipping from my memory, right? So I guess I was a little bit of a panic mode, and I just wanted to start writing it down. Keep in mind, in 1984, that's almost 30. I was maybe 21. Oh no, he died when I was 23 years old. I was 23 years old. Okay, back to this. I went and had something to eat last night at the Salisbury House. It's a family restaurant close to here. I stayed until about 1:15 a.m. or abouts. Sharon's husband, he was an Indigenous gentleman. They were a beautiful couple. She was Caucasian, he was Indigenous. They were both beautiful people inside and out. Those people that are just gorgeous, but they're so, so nice. They were a couple like that, and they had a beautiful little girl, blonde hair. Now, I don't know their last names because it's been so long ago, but I remember they were such close friends, and it's important in this story, right, that I say this. But any case, Sharon's husband gave me a lift home, and I washed and went to sleep around 2 a.m. At 9 o'clock in the morning, or just before, I was woken by the phone. When I answered it, somebody said he had the wrong number. Normally, I would have stayed up, since my sleeping habits have been all mixed up since working at the restaurant. But I didn't, and I went back to sleep till almost 3:30 on the afternoon on the dot. When I woke, I was so emotionally stirred, I was almost at the verge of tears. I thought and pondered on what I had dreamt the past 6.5 hours, or should I say 6 hours, because somehow I feel I was purposely woken or brought out of this state by means of a regular dream pattern. My dreaming is going to be very hard to explain, and I'm only going to do it as it comes to me. So it won't be in order, and I'm sure that it won't be in order. Okay, remember, I'm 23 years old. I can't spell, I can barely read. I'm going to try not to analyze what I'm going to account for because some of it I understand the meaning. I'm just going to write the bits and pieces down. At one point, I'm in a hall or some kind of building with lots of people. And over a loudspeaker, there's an announcement for me. I got it. I go to the board, and as in an announcement board with different messages on it. And this, I see my name, Cynthia Coe. And it says for me to go home immediately, that it's somehow I feel I should get my sisters from the hall, but I don't. Next, I'm outside, like a small country town. It's dark with drizzle, the dirt road is muddy, and I'm running to the dock. The wind is crazy, and I can see our boat pulling against our rope line that's holding it to the dock. I can feel the boat is going to break away and be swept out to sea. My mom and dad and my sister Tracy are on the deck and my father is trying to get to shore. He is very ill, and I'm horribly afraid for him. Such great fear I have. He is going to die. Please don't try, Dad, please. I want to scream, but he does it. He's walking across the plank onto the dock, but the wind and the sleet are so much for him that he is thrown into the water. The boat is pulling away. I have to get to the boat. I jump into the water, but I am sinking. I'm going under. I hear a voice tell me, the coat, take off the coat. I take it off, and I feel it sinking to the bottom. The current is still strong. I surface, but I am pushed back to the dock. And again, I try to dive off it, trying to get to the boat. This time, current is obliging, and I'm heading to the boat. But I see him, my father. He is safe. I understand now that he is recovered and he is healthy, and I am so happy I could burst. But suddenly I become a little angry that my coat has sunk, and I tell him he must get it back for me, that it was his fault to begin with, that I have lost it. He dives and goes down to retrieve it, but when he surfaces, it's with a door lock handle, with a key still in the lock. The look on his face is full of excitement and happiness that he has retrieved this lock, that somehow I feel that we've been searching for, knowing where it is, but not being able to get at it. He takes the key from the lock and chucks the doorknob to the sea, holding up the shining key in triumph. Somehow I am aware that I am in my runners, and I wonder why I didn't take them off when I entered the water. I am now a bit weary of the water, which I have been joyfully swimming in, and it is quite warm. I don't know, maybe I peed myself at that point in bed. Next, I am a spectator. I'm in a huge walk-in closet. I see a light as the closet door is open, and I see some legs with high-heeled shoes standing there, and I realize that it's my mother. She's stepping in the large empty closets, which is totally empty except for a few crumpled pieces of paper, which are going crazy like the wind is blowing it around. It protests against intruders. It's haunted, I realize, but she steps back in, and in the most authoritative voice, she demands that she knows that they would not bother her as they have others. Somehow I know she's speaking of me and my aunt. I feel great hostility in this room, but my mother seems to understand what is in here, and my mother seems to understand whatever is in here respects her a great deal. She asks to speak to whatever good is in here. There's a door silhouetted in the room like that to an oven door. She opens it up. There is a ball of light hovering in there. It speaks to my mother in such kind tones, I don't remember what is said. Next, there is a baby in the room with us. a very small baby. We understand that it is dying. I'm holding the baby. I'm very upset. I won't let her die. It's very dark in the room. Just the glow from the ball of light, about the size of a baseball, is illumining us. It's trying to make us understand death. I am overwhelmed by the thought of this baby dying. No, she can't go. I won't let her go. Can you believe this is coming from my brain? Like, I wouldn't have never in a million years thought of things like this. Like, I have no idea. But the ball is being so gentle and kind. It doesn't understand why I'm holding back the baby from death. I understand now. I feel a great sadness, but at the same time, such wonderful happiness. The baby brightens up. She is smiling and laughing. She understands that she is dying and is happy that I am letting her go. She is slowing down her motions as if in a movie, but still there is that happy face of the baby I am holding on my knee. Then I realize she is gone, but I am not sad. I want to know about death, and I feel like I am being taken on a tour, and where people who have died go. I don't feel like it's heaven, but like a rest stop or preparation place. There are balls of light everywhere, hovering in the air, but there are souls in human form too. Somehow I know they haven't accepted their death and are here until they realize and understand, at which time they will also be balls of light. I know the baby and see she is a ball of light. Now I recognize her. How I recognize her, I don't know, but I am happy and proud that she has found herself and that I helped her. She is happy, I know. She is then gone. I am left to wander around this place that looks like a marketplace. Every so often I see someone turning to light, and I am joyful at the acceptance. It's almost over. It's almost over, everybody. Acceptance. But I see people everywhere try to fight it. They are shopping and buying things which they don't need. There is someone who tries to eat some chicken but finds he cannot, and in this accepts his destination. He turns to light. I feel so sad they cannot accept. I want to burst into joy at my understanding, but I am still whole. I have not died, but I know I could and not be afraid. I want to let everyone know. I want everyone to understand. I am so happy and full of peace that I feel the tears fill my eyes. This part comes before what I've just said. We are in an old house. My entire family, somebody has died. I don't know who. I'm very sad, but I am more worried about a photo album. It's gone and I want it. I know my aunt has it and I hate her. She must give my family the album, but she refuses, saying she does not have it. I know she does, and I'm so frustrated and unhappy. Please, the album, I want it. Give it back to me. It belongs to my family. Something about Nanny. Her mother is brought into this, but I don't know. I realize my father is the one who died. My father is above my aunt, and he demands she gives me the album. We will share it, I realize. I'm sitting on the rug with Chad. Now, that's the guy at the beginning of the story, and he was an Aboriginal guy and a very, very good friend. A guy from my work at Salisbury House. We are looking at the album and the pictures. He picks up 2 postcards. One, that small, muddy country town of my dreams. The other, an aerial view of the surrounding area with the town in the background. It shows different roads to the town. The one in the foreground, Chad points out, was built by him and his family. I realize his family is my family. The postcards are very old. He says the road was much smaller when they built it, but that it has been expanded. That is all I remember. Now, why would I even think that? Okay, something about this part of my dreaming sticks in my mind. Though writing it down, I kept wanting to write it down, but I held off until the end because it didn't fit in with any of this. But somehow I know that it is very important. It starts off up in the rocky cliffs of my grandfather, who is also at the same time my father, is sitting on a boulder at his feet. Oh, and sitting on a boulder at his feet is the decayed corpse of a person. I don't know who. The jaw is protruding on the corpse, so it's like his mouth is open. One more paragraph. My father/grandfather has a bag of whole peanuts, and he is eating them, and every so often he tosses and drops one in the gaping mouth of the corpse, who's lying on its belly with his head propped upon a rock.
Whoa.
My grandfather is laughing, letting me know there is nothing to the body. The body is dead, and I understand. Is that weird? I never dreamed. This is the one dream, and I wrote it down, and I'm convinced it means something. I don't know what. Like, I don't get it. I need somebody who knows dreams. So if anybody knows dreams, I would give anything to know. I would give anything to know, right? Because I'm convinced my dad was trying to get me a message, right?
To William and Owen and Robert and you and everyone else, I am a solid believer in receiving dream visitations full of all kinds of symbolism and encoded messages that are left up to us to interpret after the fact from friends, family, loved ones that have passed beyond the veil. And it's happened to me, and it's happened to me many times. I keep a paper and pen next to my bed with a little portable light. And if I wake up in the middle of the night from one, I immediately know it wasn't a normal dream. It's vivider. It's just so real that it can't be anything else. And I write it all down, even if I don't know what the heck any of it means. I write down as much of it as I can remember immediately, and then I'll go back to sleep or whatever and wake up and not even sometimes remember I've done that. But I believe that our dead loved ones visit us in dreams. It doesn't have to be, and sometimes they can just be. It can be something they want you to do. It could be something really prolific. Sometimes they might just be checking in to say, hey,
Yeah. So it's up to me to interpret this, not other people. Is that what you're saying? Because it was a message for me that I'm supposed to interpret that?
No, there are different formulas of different symbols that
I wouldn't know,
that
right?
people interpret. There's a million books on what this means in a dream, what that means in a dream, and you can use those as guideposts. But as far as interpreting it, it's yours. It's come from you, and
I saved it all these years.
And what it means is that's your puzzle to work out.
Puzzle, like I need more puzzles. My life is a puzzle.
And like I said, after like a month or a year of deep thought and interpretation, you might determine that they were just trying to say hi.
And I've pulled this out 3 or 4 times in the past few months and tried to figure it out. Like there's some things like the key, like what I study, the key is an important topic because does it relate? I don't know, but yeah, what if what I have, the ancestral part is actually the indigenous, and I've actually got like what do they call that the empath, the clown, that the indigenous really study that was their powerful magic shaman, right? The big one.
Okay.
So because he was indigenous, and if I was related to him, then I thought, ooh, maybe I got those powers.
An indigenous clown empath?
They call it the clown. It's an empath. It's okay. But it's one of the strongest of all of them, right?
Interesting.
But it's known to be with the indigenous, right? With the Aboriginals. It's there. So I don't know if anybody out there has any indigenous blood in them.
The
But-
trickster? The coyote?
Something like that.
Like
Yeah.
that?
So it might have been just called something else, right? But I knew it as a clown from what I was reading. Yes, the Heyoka clown, the clown.
Cow?
Yeah. Oh, so Dave knows a little bit about it too, right? Surprising.
Okay.
That's interesting. You showed me your cards, Dave. You're going to want to rewound this one. Yeah. I'm going to Toronto tomorrow and Sharon's going home tomorrow. Yeah, it's been an incredible couple of weeks. And like I said, she gets to go back to her bed tomorrow night. Hopefully you get home tomorrow night, right? And get to have your bed. And yeah, I'll get to see my bed in a week because yeah, I'll be what am I doing in Toronto? I'm going to Evan Carmichael's Thought Leadership Academy in Toronto. I'm going to be doing a workshop there. It's a free trip that my family and Miracles kind of put together for me. It shouldn't be happening, but it's happening, and I'm so grateful. I'm so happy and grateful now that I walk to and through my fears so that I can achieve my goals and live my dreams.
Well said.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. I'm chasing down my dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't go backwards. I gotta go forwards.
What do you say?
Wow, nightmares, eh? Yeah, I don't dream. I don't have nightmares, but I don't get the good dreams too, because there's just as many good dreams, right?
I've had hellacious nightmares, but I've also had some of the most amazing visionary dreams and technicolor dreams.
I have had flying like right before, like as
Yeah.
I'm waking up, I fly into my wake up, right? And I
I-
have fallen into my sleep where I go, and then I'm out, right?
They
But I
say
feel like I'm
they say
falling.
if you're falling in a car off a cliff, or if you're falling off a mountain and you are still in the dream when you land, that you'll die, like have a heart attack or something. But I've actually done it, and so that's not true.
I don't
I've
think I fall
landed,
from anything.
and
I
I've
just
actually
fall.
went off a huge cliff in a car and landed in a gully and
In
straightened
real
out the car and drove away. No, in a dream.
In a dream.
No, we're talking about falling in dreams, not falling in real life.
Rolling down a cliff.
Yeah, no,
I walked away.
they say you'll die if you land in a dream from falling, but it's not true because I drove away in the dream. But yeah, I've had like crazy flying dreams too. That not very many. There maybe 4 or 5 in my lifetime, but they're amazing. But as soon as
I just catch the tail
as
end
soon
of the
as
flying
I
one.
can control it, like I'm a human airplane or bird. But once I look down and I realize exactly what I'm doing in the dream, it breaks the charm somehow, and I wake up. So if I put too much thought into it in the dream, it takes away the magic of
It's
flight.
the magic. We look for magic. There's been a lot of magic this week, that's for sure. Tons and tons. Yeah. I gotta follow. Yeah, I gotta follow.
You didn't really eat your pillow. Well, maybe you did. I bet it gave you heartburn. Or at least feather burps for a long time.
Dave's being funny. Dave's being funny. Yeah, it's the 9/11, like you didn't even have to be in the city and the whole world was affected by that, right?
Was it Billy Evans that did the poem about the bodies that were falling.
Oh, the jumpers.
I think it's Billy Evans, but don't quote me on that. But there's a famous poet that just wrote some of the most beautiful words about that horrific event that just captured, the essence of what we were all feeling.
Where were you that when it happened? Were you able to watch it on the TV when it was going on? Or?
It was my son's first day of high school, and he was getting ready. We were in bed. He ran in, and well, first we smelled smoke, and we thought our apartment was on fire. My ex ran out the door to find that someone's car had blown up in front of our neighbor's house, and the smoke was blowing into our yard. And when he ran in and said, "It's just the neighbor's car," my son came running in from his bedroom. He had a little TV in there, and he said, "An airplane just hit one of the twin towers in New York City." So I jumped up and turned on the news, and as soon as I turned on the TV, we saw the second plane hit on the television. And that was how he started to high school, was that morning, the morning of 9/11. And so and we woke up smelling smoke, thinking our house was on fire. So it was traumatic all along.
I was working the night shift. I managed a restaurant, and I was working the night shift. And right after work, I would run over to the hotel across the street.
The jumpers, you're right.
I was sitting at the video lottery terminals, and I was gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I sat there, and they had a big TV there, and I watched the whole thing for hours and hours. It was absolutely terrible. And I continued to play VLTs after that. I don't know how I even managed it, because that was imprinted on my mind. I couldn't believe that was going on. Like, I couldn't believe that it was real, that it really was happening, eh?
What are those, slot machines?
No, what was happening off in New York? Oh, VLTs. Yeah, the slot machines. Yeah, the slot machines. Yeah, it was that time. After work, every day that I worked, I would go over there and, throw all my tip money into the machines. And
Yeah, it totally changed commercial aviation for certain. I have a family member that works in the industry, and it changed everything overnight for him. So
I would have been a jumper, though. My greatest fear would be to go up in flames. That would be just the worst way to go, right?
yeah, someone holding hands.
Yeah, they were holding hands. Yeah.
I'm trying to read this. Let's see. Andrew.
Look at that, right? Somebody saved his life because he got an upset stomach and didn't go to work.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I lost my middle school art teacher in 9/11. Seventh grade art. She was the only art teacher I had in junior high, and I guess she left West Virginia and moved to New York City, and just so happened she was in one of those buildings. And so that's the only direct connection of anyone that I knew. But I had lots of friends that lived in New York when that happened.
Thousands of people.
But they were saved. Okay.
Yeah, I try and stay away from those type of. I like discover things that are discovered. Those kind of documentaries.
I've watched that.
Or history ones.
I've watched that.
Yeah, that's Dave.
Dave Cow.
Dave. Yeah, Dave Cow.
New Dave.
Is that a nickname your family gives to you, Dave? That your
Well, I didn't think it was his real name.
Well, it could be. You know, they might call him Moo Moo.
Cowden is his surname. That's
Oh, his last name. Oh, because of the cow. Okay, okay, okay. I get it. We're not making. Oh, hey, my last name growing up was Co. I kept my married name. There wasn't a chance in H I was going back to Co.
What's wrong with Co?
I grew up with Cindy Cow.
Well, because it kind of sounds like
Cow.
Co.
And because I was big, right?
I-
So the kids called me
Kids
Cindy
were
Cow. Yeah, kids were mean.
I grew up with the kids would howl at me when I walked down the hall.
I got.
Oh,
Oh, really? I got.
because I'm a wolf. My last name.
I was big, and they would all be sitting up against the lockers, and every time I would walk by, they go, "Ba-boom, ba," because like a tugboat.
Oh.
They used to call me Boat. That was another nickname. Yeah, kids were mean, right? Yeah, work shirts and stuff. It was chore day. We had lots of chores. Yeah, we got everything packed. Everything is.
I love my name now, but when I was in school, kids followed me around howling so much that when I met a little boy at the swimming pool one day that was cute and wanted to talk to me, and he asked me what my name was, bobbing around in the water, I looked around and I said, Sharon Rivers.
Oh.
And so some kid in the world somewhere thinks that little girl he talked to that day was named Sharon Rivers. But I was embarrassed of my name because kids teased me about it. And now I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
I like my nice last name.
Yeah. Well, we've got work to do.
Yeah, we do have work to do, and we're going to end this at 9 o'clock, so we got a few minutes. What else do you want to talk to? So everybody who came in late, just to let you know that Sharon's going home in the morning, and I'm going to Toronto tomorrow. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I can't believe that life is sweeping me up the way I want it to, and it might turn into nothing, but yeah, it might turn into something, and you never know where it's going to lead me. And at the same time, when I get back, then I'll know exactly. I couldn't go another year the way I was, right? Like, that I have to be able to get some answers so I can move forward, right? And I'm so lucky. Yeah, I'm so lucky. I get to do this, and I hope my car does good. It's got an oil change and it's ready to go. And yeah, everybody.
Thanks, Owen. Dave asked you how long. You just up the road from him.
Dave, well, I'm coming to visit you. How do you get a hold of me? Here, let me just I got my notifications here going on. Dave, I would love to come and meet you. I'll make a detour. Get that information to me. Give me a place to meet you. Like a coffee shop or a Tim Hortons or a McDonald's or something in your area.
He said he'll email you.
Perfect. Yes. So I'll do the course first, and then I'll come and see you on my way home, because then I can take my time, right? Because going there, I have to get there fast, right? Yeah. I'm going to be singing, I'm going to be practicing, and I'm going to be thinking, and I'm going to be looking at the beautiful landscapes and stopping, I guess, to take pictures.
And I'm going to be saying my plane mantra, which is safe and sound, up and down, safe and sound.
Do you?
Safe and sound, up and down.
You don't like the plane?
I say it when I'm landing, when I'm taking off, because it keeps me calm and I don't have to hold a stranger's hand.
I love planes. I love planes.
I've been flying since
Don't
I
get
was
me on a
baby.
swing, but I love planes.
But the older I get, the more anxiety it gives me, because I don't know, it's just I do it. I have no problem doing it. I love it once I'm up there, but I just
Did you get a window seat?
I don't know what I'm gonna get. I do
Did you get
standby.
one here? No.
I do standby, so I get what's left after everybody else is on the plane.
Yeah, a month ago when I checked the prices to Toronto, I could have gotten a flight for $167.
And
$300
now,
$1,000 for a flight. When you get so close to the dates that you need to go, it's like $1,000.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, right? Because I was trying to figure out ways on how to get to Toronto, and I was okay, well, I'll fly. I'll go stand by like Sharon does, and I'll get it for $100. Not a chance. Not a chance. Even standby, it would have been $400, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, my standby is a little cheaper than yours because of the airline connection
Right.
that I have.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And yeah.
otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to afford to come here.
But I hope you had a great time.
I did.
Did
I
you?
did. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Aw. Yeah. Oh.
I slipped on the seat.
Yeah, I got wheels on my seat. I'm just like, whoa. But anybody, we're gonna call it a night tonight. Follow me on Instagram, everybody. If you want to follow this journey, I'm going to be doing live posts. I'm going to be posting regularly, the whole experience, right? I've been filming the whole time, so I've got lots of footage and stuff. So we're going to get a documentary type thing, you know, the journey of up till now. I might not show you some of the crazy that I went through, but I'll show you a lot of the fun stuff that I went through and some of the magic. So, and thank you so much, everybody, you know, for coming by. And I know most of my views will happen after my live, but for those of you who watch me afterwards, come join me on Instagram and watch this journey of mine that I'm doing. This is going to be an amazing trip for me. Even though it's going to be, I'm not even going to think about what I got to deal with when I get back. I'm just blocking that out. I'm living for this moment right now, and I'm going to enjoy this experience hugely. So everybody, have a great night. Say good night to Sharon, and she'll be back in the regular comments, I guess.
I'll be back with you all
next week. Next week. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Awesome.